Hello, hello. So we're going to go a little deeper today with some more Q&A, some more questions that were coming in. So thank you so much to those who are sending in these beautiful questions. I have a question for you. This may sound strange, but here it goes. When I signed up for your course, it felt like an absolute right thing to do. I felt drawn to learning a new way of healing and at the same time felt a resistance surfacing, which is hard to understand. Where is this coming from? As I love all things energy medicine, like you, I've trained in many modalities and I love expanding my being to learn new things. So I'm wondering if this is just part of my reawakening into whole consciousness, breaking through layers I didn't know were there so that I can become a clearer channel for living from my now. I feel as though a veil has been lifting for a while, yet navigating it can sometimes feel like I'm suspended in time, losing the quote, old plot. Hooray. She put that in there. I know the answer is available at some level, yet it's still good to hear from a perspective that understands the process as it's unfolding. Can I ask what you would say to this experience I feel at the moment? Thank you. So thank you for writing this in. Thank you so very much. So this is very common. People will venture into a new space of themselves. And even though you've learned energy medicine in the past, and there's energy medicine in the teaching, she's asking about my AQE course that she's in right now. It is an energy medicine course and a self-expansion course, self-healing course. So even though she's learned these spaces in the past, she's still feeling this resistance surfacing. And so it's making it hard for her to understand because she's already kind of taken spaces like this before. So why is there this resistance? So there's most likely a couple things playing out. One is, and very commonly, change in general. We've been taught, and programmed to believe that change is difficult or change is uncomfortable. And so any change at all has this underlying, rooted, echoing vibration of resistance because it's a change. It's just a change. And some people that can be really, really like, not just an echo, but like a screaming alarm. They don't like change at all. And you might say, well, I have no problem with change, but it is connected into the collective that you are a part of. So you could even feel a small echo out of the vibration of resistance to change. Also, in order to move into the space of connection I teach, which is the cosmic quantum energy, it is an entirely new energetic alignment. It has never been seen on this planet before. It has never been seen in any other healing modality on Earth by humans. So, in order to connect in with that space, one moves through spaces of clearing and release at whatever level one needs to in the most optimal, beneficial manner for each individual. It's always different for each individual. But one moves through these spaces of release based on whatever's in there, in the field, in the belief structure, in the programming of the individual that needs to level up. So, this space of resistance is you bringing yourself this understanding of moving into the next space of you. And some people can say, well, what if it's resistance because you shouldn't be here and it's your intuition telling you not to be here? What does that feel like the minute you say it? Fearful, doesn't it? Yeah. I used to play that song a lot. Whenever you have a feeling, a sensation, a knowing, an understanding, if you allow yourself to have a second with it, a moment with it, and you feel fear hooked up inside of it, it's you being given the opportunity to heal that fear. Whatever you're doing is bringing you closer to healing the fear. And you want to heal the fear. You want to allow the fear to move into the next space of itself, of through love, and that you clear and move forward as well. So resistance, no matter the level in which one feels, is usually a signal to you that you are entering into a space of change. And most people that come to my courses, everyone who comes to my courses want to change something. So you can flip the thought process in the head program, right? The belief. You can flip it when the resistance comes up. When you feel the resistance, you can say to yourself, awesome, we are changing something for the better. And in that moment, you've now allowed your sovereign directive to flow. It's not, the mind doesn't get to tell you what to do anymore. The mind does what you tell it to do now. This very different type of living. That's the new human. The old human was whipped around by the mind, by the emotions, by the dramas, and exhausted, depleted, and anxious, annoyed, pressed, because it had no control being implemented from its sovereignty. Yet now, when you feel the resistance or whatever else you may experience, you can implement the conscious response, the conscious thought that says the choice of that alignment in that moment. Resistance, I read this space with love. Thank you very much. We are moving into a new space of ourselves and we are doing it beautifully. My body knows exactly what to do, as does my being. I embrace it all with love. And the more you say this, either in thought or out loud, however you want to do it, write it, the more that you process it that way, the more the old program begins to uninstall, because you're choosing to install the new program by saying it, thinking it, writing it, being it, doing it. And every time you install, think it, write it, say it, do it, be it, every time you install, that program gets stronger and stronger and eventually becomes more of a default. So instead of having to go look for it and grab a hold of it and claim it, you are it. Then that's ascension, and that's healing. And that's the process of expansion. So the resistance is totally normal. Sometimes it can also be hooked to fears, maybe connected to family members or teachings you were given as a child. I a lot of times I'll have people that are very worried because, and they don't even, they say, I'm not religious, I don't go to church, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but they still have some type of apprehension, resistance, or fear. Most of the time, it's because somewhere along the way, somebody told them that if they came anywhere near this, or the, energy work or crystals or whatever it is, or if they left that, restricted area of faith that was given to them through religion, that all of a sudden they were going to be harmed in some way, or some really bad thing would happen to them. As long as there's a faith or belief in that, your body is going to register resistance, right? And that's your cue to heal that fear so that you don't create it, because you are the aligner and the designer. And so whatever you put your faith in, you experience. And as long as my faith was in those spaces, and it was for 40 some years of my life, I believed that demons were, out there and they wanted to get me. And I believe in these really, really dark, dense spaces that I was taught, but they were not taught to me so that I would live in. No, my parents didn't think that they were harming me. Believe me, my parents are they were incredible people. My mother's still here. My father's now working with me in the spiritual realm. Thank you. But they gave me religion because they believed it would keep me safe and it would keep me um, safe and loved. And they did the best they could do with the knowledge they held in that topic, in that understanding. I did not raise my children that way. I started to. And by the time my oldest was 8, I realized, because my youngest, who was 3, I started to put her into that same program I had been given. And I said, teaching her just like I had been taught. And it was a little kid Sunday school program. And there was a picture of a little child, and they had a black heart on their chest. And it was talking about being born into sin, how you're born in sinful and bad, and you need salvation. And my 3-year-old looked up at me and she says, Mommy, I don't have a black heart. And I'm so grateful for her. She's a starseed. She knew the minute she came in here, she was a visitor. And she has brought us brought us so much enlightenment and understanding. And my older daughter has the gift of sight beyond the physical. And from the age of 8, same time frame, she was seeing beautiful beings of light in our home, beautiful beings walking right out of my chest into the room. I'm a portal. Um, they would, my two daughters would come out of their bedroom and I'd say, "What were you doing?" And they'd say, "Well, we were coloring with Jesus." And I'd say, "Oh, really? What's his favorite purple?" And they had star being guides and fairies and so many beautiful spaces through their childhood. And I was in the middle of the awakening process. So I found my clarity in my way. They navigated as being the beautiful beings of light they are and were in that space as well. And together we culminated this space of freedom and we broke all of those bondages to those programs that had been carried out cyclically, generation upon generation upon generation, I'm sure, throughout my family. And we no longer ran them, we no longer did them. And we have really beautiful lives. My children are grown now, they're adults, and they are both they live their dream. They are entrepreneurs. They are highly successful. They're healthy mentally, emotionally, physically. They both have beautiful, significant others. One is married, one is engaged, and their um, their partners are incredibly aligned with them. They're extremely happy together in their relationships. We all are very close. We see each other every single day, pretty much. And we have family dinners 3 times a week. And we take trips together. And we're all abundant in our health and our wealth, in our joy, in our love. And we do not run these programs of fear. And we live from very different spaces of understanding from what a lot of humanity lives from. But we are not the only ones. There are many, many more like us. But resistance in the body is, uh, in most cases, a little notation being sent up by you to you for you that this space has something in it that you need to see. And you brought yourself here for a reason, and check it out and allow yourself to find the love vibration within that space and or connection of you with that space, and allow that to shift the resistance into flow. So it could be that it's just even resistance to the concept that this could be real, resistance to the concept that this could be real. That's a big one for so many people. And they have a really hard time even connecting in with the energy session space I hold. So we call it a C to C, a consciousness to consciousness. It's remote distance healing. It's energy. I connect in the quantum. I go in, I get a lot of information. I do a lot of healing work on the person or the group, and connect them with their light team, the team I work with, which is higher dimensional beings of light. I've had clients on my actual table in person in a healing session where their body part was being moved very gently and they thought I was moving it. And then later after the session, I told them I didn't touch you, physically touch you. I never made contact with your body. And they said, but I felt the hands on my arm and I watched their arm moving. I thought they were moving it. And that was one incident. But we are working with higher dimensional beings of light. And in many cases, these are versions of us that are coming back, if you will, through what we understand as the future, but it's just vibrational, really, not time. And so resistance can come in that can be real. Connecting, being able to connect that way, being able to have those types of things happen because you've been really trained. All of us have been super trained to believe that's impossible, to call it actually like crazy or fake. But would, if you wanted to keep control over a massive group of people, would you teach them that it was real, that they have these abilities and powers? Or would you tell them it's fake and crazy? So very well, resistance could be hooked to that as well. So any who are in the AQE Foundations course and are watching this video, and we have so many in this course, biggest course I've ever held. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited. Held yet, biggest one yet. But any who are watching this video, as you are connecting in with the C2C, so weekly, we have the weekly class on Zoom. And then right after that, we have the hour-long Cosmic Quantum Energy session. And I go into the quantum and connect in with my entire group. I make all the notes and then I share them via email. Any of you who are in this space and you say, I really want to trust myself. I really want to trust you. I have this feeling in my heart, it's real, but my mind keeps telling me I'm crazy. It's not real. Or what are you thinking? You know, you can't do that. That's impossible, whatever. I only see black. I don't see anything. Other people see things. Is there something wrong with me? Do I have a blockage? I need you to just trust yourself. I need you to just trust yourself and allow. The mind will ask you a million times over for reason, for structured analytical thought. But that thing you're looking for, it's not in your mind, it's in your heart. And it's called faith. And the way you're going to gain that faith is by allowing it, having faith, leaning in and trusting. And it's, I walk by faith, not by sight. So it's beyond seeing it. It's beyond even comprehending it fully with the mind or understanding it with the thought processes, but believing it with the heart. And it opens all the doors. This is a portal. Your heart center, not your heart organ, your heart center, the energy center is your portal. It is an actual door to your I am, to your consciousness, your higher consciousness, to the source space that is inhabiting this space of you. We work with heart consciousness in a cosmic quantum energy. Heart consciousness is the new human. It is the higher vibrational space of existence of the being that knows itself as a human and as source. So these questions were really beautiful, really powerful, and really interconnected, I think. Faith and healing resistance through faith. So thank you for asking them. Please keep asking. I have some more questions that have come in recently. I will get other videos out as soon as I possibly can. I'm so honored and grateful to walk with each and every one of you. And I'm going to say it again. If you don't already have my book, please consider getting my book. This is the beautiful AQE Foundations. Remember who you are. And this is a fantastic book. It is an energizing book. There's teachings in here. There's actual photographs of beautiful beings of light. Do you see this beautiful space of light, beautiful being of light with me? There's a picture of a spaceship that was over my home. It was a scouting ship. There's a picture of an actual channeled, well, not channeled, but automatic writing I did. And I've never done it since, never done it before, but that day I knew I needed to write and I got the message and wrote it. Beautiful picture of the channeled art my daughter, Sydney, my oldest daughter, made. This is a Cosma prior to Earth. Cosma was one of the original architects for the layout of Earth and for the layout of humanity. The energy keys that we utilize in the course are in this book. How to do a cosmic quantum energy is in this book. And if you want to be certified and attuned, activated, you would join one of my courses, or you would do a one-on-one course with me, or you could join my group course, and or I have we have several teachers across the planet now, and we have this course available in several different languages as well. So it's now available in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Dutch, Slovenian, and soon to be Greek, Turkish, and Mandarin. Those three are on the horizon. So we're here to meet the world, and we're here to assist the world in remembering who they are. And this is ascension. This is the rise of the human collective. So if you feel drawn to this space, to this work, to my teachings, please reach out and find a way to connect even more and even deeper. I have a beautiful monthly class on Patreon once a month. And I also offer a lovely audio link and candle service once a month through that platform as well. There's 2 tier levels to choose from. You can come and go as you please, and it's a wonderful place of connection. I have all my free content here on YouTube, also have content on TikTok and IG, Instagram, and have my course spaces and session spaces I offer. You can go to my website, sacredexpansion.com, and see all that I offer there. So I am so honored to do what I do. I'm so grateful I woke up and remembered everything I'm here to bring forth and to have you to bring it to and to walk with me as I walk with you. We're here for this, holy divine ones. We are here for this. It is time to rise into our remembrance of our sovereign beings and live from that space of ourselves. So, unending blessings upon you, holy divine one. Unending blessings.